Oh joy, we now have the card set for Brilliant Stars. So, in today's video, you get to hear me complain about the millionth Rainbow Rare Charizard they've ever printed in the history of Pokemon cards. But before we do, as we always do, let's roll that intro. Hey Gengar Gang, what is going on? My name is Ryan, this is the Analytic Gengar, and welcome to another video. In today's video, friends, we talk about the Brilliant Stars set list, which more or less has been confirmed. So today's video is going to basically be taking a look at most of the cards in the set, chit-chatting about them. I haven't looked at many of them. I haven't actually seen many of them, so I'm actually very excited. Some people would prefer to do this for pack openings, but genuinely, I just think it's better to do it here because you can see the entire set, and I'm a big believer that the artwork on a card should be appreciated within the context of the set that the card comes from. So looking at things a little bit more holistically. Obviously, been a minute since I posted a video. Sorry, I did that thing where I went outside and touched grass. It can be very difficult to manage that when you're a YouTuber or a small one who works a full-time job as well. So yeah, long time no see, but this week is Brilliant Stars week, meaning we are going to take a look at the Brilliant Stars English set list today. On Thursday, we'll probably look a little bit into that magical V-Star Charizard that magically popped up on eBay for a little bit. I do have a little bit of information about that, so I was able to find out what happened to that card. We'll chit-chat a little bit about that, and then this weekend, probably PSA Greater Returns. Obviously, Brilliant Stars itself does not come out for a little bit more time. It's due here in the States out in the end of February, so that'll be pretty cool when it does come out, but it's nice to know that we have the set list now because there's been a little bit of confusion as to the various Japanese sets and how they'll reconcile back into this set. So now we have a pretty good indication of how that's going to work, which is pretty cool. As always, the link to this article will be down below. PokeBeach is obviously one of the most amazing Pokemon TCG websites out there on the internet today, so definitely go show your love and support to them. And hey, if you like today's video, leave a like down below on the video, and hey, if you're not already, consider subscribing to join the Gengar Gang. But without further ado, let's get right on into it, friends. So, we have the Brilliant Stars English set list. Now this is going to combine November's VMAX Climax, December's Start Deck 100, and January's Starbirth set. One interesting thing to note is that every single card from Starbirth is included. So usually how the reconciliation between Japan and the English TCG works is that they usually get a few smaller sets of Japanese Pokemon cards, and then here in English we'll get them as sort of one gigantic conglomerate set. That's why it's not uncommon for Japanese sets to be somewhere in the range of 100 cards, while English sets can sometimes be as close to, but certainly not limited to, 220, 250 cards per set, because it's usually just taking a few sets, maybe two plus some random miscellaneous cards, and jamming them in there. So that's why this is the current sort of format. But what's interesting is that we already see a bunch of other sets in Japan coming out, so it's one of those things where for one reason or another people are a little bit confused as to what's going to be in Brilliant Stars, given exactly how much we've seen from Japan given the past 4 or 5 months, let's just say. So, the set itself contains 151 regular cards, 32 to 35 secret rares, and 30 trainer gallery cards. So that's interesting. The 3 secret rares haven't been confirmed yet, so right now I believe they have images of 32. And then once they, get a chance to see the other 3, they will confirm and update the story to include the other 3 secret rare cards. The trainer gallery is comprised mostly of character rare cards, so an interesting little move there. Unlike Cosmic Eclipse, where those cards were basically mixed in with the regular set, these are going to be sort of isolated to their own unique set. And it'll be, very similar to things we've seen before with the Pokemon TCG in terms of mechanics. It will be a little subset that can be found within the packs. Now, Interestingly enough, the trainer gallery is mostly comprised of character rares, but not just character rares. It does include full art trainers as well as secret rare gold Pokemon that would normally be part of our secret rares. So this might be a little bit of a pivot, because what might happen now is that, bear in mind that this is the first set, Brilliant Stars that is the first set that will effectively work for the generation, quote unquote, for reboots / remakes. So, just bear in mind that there is a decent possibility that what we will see here is a little shift in the mechanics as we approach the end of the Sword and Shield era. This means that future trainer galleries can be padded with other cards, further making them a set within a set. So that's exactly what I was mentioning. Notice that this is actually a shockingly small amount of cards, even with and in addition to the secret rares for the set. But realistically speaking, all you're getting is about 210 cards, which is about a pretty big set. The only difference is that this is going to be the set within the set, these 30 cards from the trainer gallery. So something to bear in mind. So here are some of the cards that they wanted to point out here. And these look to all be trainer gallery cards. We'll take a look at them a little bit later. So with all that said, oh good, here it is. The character rares are in the reverse holo slot in a booster pack, meaning you can still pull a rare card like normal. Now, that's an interesting observation, and I think that's a really good thing because it's going to make these packs more fun to open. Basically, you can open up a pack and it can be a very, very busy pack. You could pull, let's just say, a full art trainer in the reverse slot because it comes from the character rares, and then you can pull a, let's just say, gold card from the regular secret rares. So that'll make for some really fun and interesting Pokemon card openings, and I think that's kind of why they probably went this route with, adding in a little bit more chance. It'll probably also help with the pull rates because now you have 2 chances to pull something really good as opposed to only 1. So I think that'll also help the cause. So that'll be pretty neat. I'm very much looking forward to that. It's very much in the vein of Hidden Fates. I think Hidden Fates was one of the most recent sets to kind of kick off that trend again. So that's why at least I continue to point to Hidden Fates as one of the greatest examples of, if done correctly, how the dual rare pull mechanic can work, where you can replace the reverse rare with a character rare, or back in the day a shiny card, and then you still have a chance at a regular rare, which can also be something really cool from the base set. So, interestingly enough, half of the character rares from VMAX Climax have been cut from our set, and then you can expect to see about 30 of them released in each English set from now on, meaning that you'll probably get them in the trainer gallery for May's Astral Radiance, which is already confirmed to be the newest set, and then character rares from Japan's Legion should be in our August set. These staggered releases are likely because character rares will continue to be released in Japan for the foreseeable future, and so it's very likely that they will now be introduced into our TCG in a different way. Again, I'm a big fan of this. If they continue to release sets, so let's just say Astral Radiance and our August set continue to feature a secret set of cards, the trainer gallery as they're calling it, and you can reliably always pull them out of the reverse holo slot, I think that'll be really cool because, again, it'll make for some really enjoyable Pokemon card openings. And I think one of the things that we've been suffering from lately between Chilling Reign and Evolving Skies has really just been, not really great pull rates. Even Fusion Strike was miserable in terms of pull rates. And so I think adding this in is Pokemon's way of maybe counteracting that, because now I guarantee you're going to get some packs that are basically god packs. They're going to be insane with the types of pulls that you're going to be able to get. And I think that's going to be really helpful towards endearing fans to buy more packs and purchase more cards, because genuinely, I'm at the point now where I think I'm just going to be buying singles until I see a dedicated, amazing amount of pulls back in the TCG. And obviously some people may disagree with that. Some people may argue that Rainbow Rare should be rare and that they shouldn't be seeded 1 per booster box. My only counter argument to that, and really where I kind of sit on that entire argument about the quote-unquote rarity of Pokemon cards, is that I really wanted them to at least be worth the money you pay for product. So just as an example, if you open up a Build and Battle Stadium that costs $60, you should get $60 worth of value out of it and not just, a chance. And I realize that, there's a bunch of arguments to be made there, but whatever. That's just my thoughts and theory on it. Now, all the unique cards from the Start Deck 100 have been included in our set, including these Rude, the Entei, the Kingler VMAX, which I'm oddly and weirdly very happy about, and the secret rares like Pikachu V and Marnie's Pride. However, the alternate cards have also been left out. So the only one releasing so far is Boltund's V and April's Boltund V box, and we all know how I feel about those types of things. If you take cards out of sets and make them promos, it's you know, not my favorite thing to do. Good news is Boltund V doesn't sound like a critical thematic component to a set, unlike the Eevee evolutions from Evolving Skies now being promo boxes. We don't yet know how they'll release the Luxray line, Greedent V, and the rest. They'll probably be tossed into Astral Radiance to promote Hisui, especially since Shinx is heavily mentioned in the game. Yes, this is one of those instances where we are going to begin seeing a lot of references between PLA, so Pokemon Legends Arceus, and the sets and how they're going to interact. I'm sure Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are also going to get their time to shine, but genuinely, I really think PLA is where a lot of the focus for the TCG is going to be, especially with the introduction of so many Hisui Pokemon, as well as some new forms to Pokemon. Spoiler free, by the way, because I still haven't even completed the game. I'm really grinding up my Pokédex, but you get the point. Next up, they are not sure where they're going to get the Galarian birds, and if they're going to be in Brilliant Stars. Their character rares were cut from our set, so their gold cards could be saved for Astral Radiance 2, and then the only addition to the set is the Mimikyu V from Battle Styles to make Mimikyu VMAX playable, but that was expected. Interesting that they left one of those cards out. And then if you get a V-Star Pokemon in your Brilliant Stars booster pack, the basic energy in your pack will be replaced with a V-Star marker card. It's just a blank card with the V-Star logo. So that's interesting. I think that's pretty neat. Unfortunately, I think it might influence the way people open packs, especially if you're recording it. So normally what we would do is we'd do the card trick, and then the card trick would show us an energy. Leonhardt is very famous for guessing the energy, but interestingly enough, if you flip that over and then you get a V-Star, that kind of bonks you in the head, I think. So that's interesting. So Brilliant Stars is releasing on February 25th of 2022 here in the States and across the English-speaking parts of the world where the English TCG sits. And yeah, we begin now with the actual set. So you got tons of Grass-type Pokemon. Excited to see Breloom. I love me a good Breloom. So that one's that one. I don't know how to get him away. Okay, there you go. Yeah, we got Tropius. Of course, they got to sneak in their Gen 4 starters. So you got Torterra. I assume we're going to see the Infernape line and the Empoleon line as well. Our first V card is a Shaman. Then you got the Shaman V-Star. So, here's the V, very pretty card, and then here's the V-Star. So here's the probably first card that you're going to see that's going to look very different from what we've seen in Fusion Strike and everything prior. This is the new mechanic that they're introduced. I believe these cards will also be textured, and you can actually see the texturing on these cards. So they will look really nice. And of course, when you see one of these, you also know that a Rainbow Rare version of the card may exist as a secret rare within the set. Of course, our good friend Charizard will get a release, and what's pretty neat about this card is that it is in English, so we can confirm this is what the set looks like. It looks very much like the Arceus symbol within PLA, and it quite literally is the Arceus symbol, I think. And then you can see that's actually a really, really good looking Pokemon card, not gonna lie. Of course, one time for the one time, he does get a V-Star as well, and I think this is a really good-looking artwork for Charizard. And then, again, of course, there is going to be Secret Rare, Rainbow Rare for that card as well. You got Magmar, Magmortar, you got the regular Moltres, Entei. So we've now moved into the Fire section. You've got the Infernape line as well. He's going to be a regular reverse. I'm surprised they didn't give them V cards as well. Here's the VMAX Kingler, which looks super dope. I don't know why I like that crab so much, but go figure. Now we're in the water section. I'm assuming we're going to see at least one water Pokemon get a V. Yeah, so you do have, I believe that is Lumineon. Let's see, anything else? Interestingly enough, I did not see... yeah, the Empoleon line is right there, so that's pretty cool. Scrolling along, we now move to the electric type Pokemon. You've got Raichu, you've got Entei. I'm assuming they missed Suicune, or they're going to drop Suicune in. You got the Psychic-type Pokemon. We have a Granbull, interestingly enough. Scrolling. We've got Whimsicott. Whimsicott also got a V-Star, so that's really interesting. Again, super cool, super interesting. I'm just happy that the mechanic isn't something goofy, like, oh, they grow to 1,000,000 times their size. VMAX was fun, but, you know, I'm okay if they don't do it much anymore. Here we do have, finally, the Mimikyu and the Mimikyu V that were mentioned above. Scrolling to the Fighting-type Pokemon, I do hope that Flygon gets a little bit more love. I love Flygon, and that's a really sick artwork. But I do hope they do a little bit better in terms of getting it onto more Pokemon cards. Obviously, Golurk makes another appearance. Golurk seems to be a fan favorite for the TCG anyway, just because it seems to be present in quite a few different Pokemon sets. Got the Dark-type Pokemon. We already saw Honchkrow. We've got a Morpeko. Now we get an Aggron and an Aggron VMAX. That's a really good-looking card again, so very much looking forward to pulling that, or at least going hunting for it. Like I said, part of what I plan to do might actually just be buy most of these cards. I might open a few ETBs just to get most of the regular set done, and then I just may go down the list and buy everything else. And I might actually make it a video to see which was the cheaper option, because I know I've spent stupid amounts of money completing sets before, and fun fact, I have never completed a set just by pulling Pokemon cards. And that's just simply because it's not a financially responsible decision to do. But what's interesting is that I have a feeling completing sets via buying them would probably just be pretty easy. I mean, a little convoluted, but pretty easy, all things considered. We do get a Flygon V, so I do get a little bit of wish fulfillment there. Of course, they got to get a Garchomp in there, but interestingly enough, they also put in, I believe, the Gen 5 Pseudo, the Haxorus. You've got a bunch of other Dragon-type Pokemon. And then, of course, we move into the normal-type Pokemon. You got Staraptor, you got Bidoof. So, yeah, it's a pretty flushed-out list here. You've got Arceus and Arceus V-Star, so that'll be 2 cards definitely on the list of cards to pull. That's what the V-Star looks like. Pretty good-looking card, not gonna lie. And Starbirth, I think that might legitimately just be a reference to the set that it premiered in Japan, so that's pretty interesting. Got Tornadus, Hawlucha. We've got a Drampa, and then we move into the trainer cards. Obviously, some of the trainer cards get full art treatment, so I'm actually just going to skip most of them and get straight to the part that I think will be the most interesting. So here is the secret rares for the set. The following list is mostly confirmed. We do not know if the Galarian birds are in there yet, so do bear that in mind. So we've got the Shaman full art. We've got the Charizard full art. We then have the Charizard alternate art. So yes, alternate arts are back. They are really cool, really good looking cards. Very excited to see what this card's going to sell for, but yeah, they gave Charizard more love. You've got the Lumineon, and then, excited about this, you have a Lumineon alternate art card, so I think that's amazing. That's spot on. That's exactly what they should do. Feature different Pokemon. You do get Pikachu and Raichu. No alternate art for them, which I'm actually surprised about. I thought this would be a good time to get something like that in. Granbull, Whimsicott, Honchkrow. Yes, Honchkrow is another Pokemon that I really love. It gets a alternate art as well. You can see a whole bunch of tiny little Murkrow chilling about, and then Honchkrow is at the top of the tree, just taking a little nap. You have the Zamazenta V. So that's a really trippy card. You've got Flygon V. I really wish they'd given it a alternate art. Again, I think they could just literally do a scene from the desert in Pokemon Emerald, and they would have had a great alternate art, but whatever. You've got Arceus, and you've got Arceus V alternate art, and yeah, it's exactly what you think it looks like. It's quite literally the god of Pokemon, or the Pokemon god doing creation things, I guess. Next up, you have the full art trainers. So you've got Barry, you've got Sharon's Care. I assume Cynthia is going to be a card many people go after. You've got Kindler, you've got Marnie's Pride. Marnie, of course, always being a very beloved Pokemon trainer from the Sword and Shield era, so I assume she's going to be another card that's very high in demand. And then finally, but not least, Roseanne's backup. So then you move into the... those are not even... Wow, those don't... They look like popcorn ceiling, but in rainbow. This is a lot of rainbow. So you've got Shaman, as I'd mentioned. Of course, Charizard, which I assume is going to follow the trajectory of a Burning Shadow style Charizard. It's going to be a very high value card within the set, as well as the alternate art, actually. Whimsicott, so Whimsicott gets a Rainbow Rare, so does Arceus, so that's pretty cool. And then finally you do have some additional Rainbow Rare full art trainers as well. As they mentioned, the Galarian birds are the gold cards, but they're not quite sure if those birds are in this set yet. These are the birds from Chilling Reign, so we finally get to see them in their gold form a couple of sets later, interestingly enough. And then you also get the gold V-Star Arceus, which is also going to be pretty cool. So quite a few different variants of that card. Interestingly enough, they didn't go through the process of printing Arceus in its different forms, which I thought was interesting. Normally when you get a set dedicated to Arceus, like the one we got quite a whiles back, it featured all of the different plate type of Pokemon Arceus. So, you know, if you put the water plate on Arceus in the video games, it turns into a water type. They've actually printed a card like that in the past, and they do that for all of the types. Interestingly enough, they didn't do it here in this set, which is more or less dedicated to Arceus, I would think. Instead, I guess they're going through the process of just introducing the mechanic, although I do think we will see those Pokemon cards with Arceus's different types a little bit later on. Some of the secret rares include Magma Basin, so not my favorite card, and the Ultra Ball finally gets its gold Sword and Shield era printing. Then, finally but not least, you have the 30 cards in the trainer gallery. So, we get Flareon, Vaporeon, no Jolteon, I don't think. Oh no, Jolteon's next. You get Octillery, which I actually love this card. I don't know why I like water Pokemon so much, go figure. You get the Jolteon, and point in case, Gary is the trainer for all of them, which is interesting. Then you get Zekrom. We gotta find Reshiram. Let's see if he's in here. You got Dusknoir. And then let's see, you've got that little freaky thingy-mabobber, you got the cake thing, you got Ariados, you got Houndoom, you got an Eevee, which interestingly enough does not feature Gary. That doesn't look like Gary, but I'm happy it made it into the set. That's an Oranguru, but that was a really difficult Pokemon to see. It's actually very well camouflaged in there. You've got the Boltund, you've got the Sylveon, you've got Sylveon VMAX. So here's our first VMAX that we're seeing. And I'm a huge fan of these VMAXs because I love the fact that they're always including the trainer in these. So I'm very excited to see when, for example, they do like a Rayquaza VMAX that has Zinnia. Obviously, I'm going to freak out when I finally get the English version of the Umbreon with Karen on it, so that'll be another good one to get. I'll be very excited. You got Mimikyu watching TV, so that's about as spot on as I expected. Here's another good one, like a very cute, very pretty card. I very much enjoy the aesthetic they're going for here. Got Urshifu. Again, really, really cool cards. Like, can we just stop for a minute and take a moment to appreciate the VMAXs, which no longer look like VMAXs, they look more like alternate arts in a weird way, at least for the character rares, that is. You've got Karen's Umbreon, and tell me it's happening. Oh yes it is. Okay, so as many of you know, I will be buying too many of these. Moving on. You've got oh, well that's actually the trainer, although I do see Mimikyu in there. And then of course you're going to see all of the other trainers that you're going to get from the set, so there's all of them. Interestingly enough, you do get gold cards, so these are I call them gold and black cards, and then they take some creative liberties with the way they color it in, obviously based on the Pokemon. So here are the Urshifus, but then I've also seen ones where they do Rayquaza and he's in green, so you know, it's just thematically appropriate. So that is an entire walkthrough of every single card in the set. Personally, I am quite excited. Not only am I a little biased because of the Karen and the Umbreon in the trainer gallery, but I think the set is very well balanced. Don't get me wrong, I am a little annoyed that Charizard has found its way into another mechanic, and Charizard is one of the Pokemon that will no doubtedly carry a premium as a card in this set, and that's just because of the overwhelming demand for the first ever Charizard V-Star Rainbow Rare. I have a feeling that's how it's going to go. Charizard also took up a valuable alternate art set. But all things considered, I think it's balanced out very well. You know, Burning Shadows, I look back at it and think how corny it was, because really that was the only thing it had going for it, in my humble opinion. But here you have a bunch of cool things like the alternate arts, you have the trainer gallery, and I have a feeling that the set is going to be very fun to open up, especially when people start realizing that you'll be able to pull VMAXs from the trainer gallery, as well as, like, let's just say secret rares or full arts from the regular set. So I think between that it'll be very good. One thing that I note is that the regular set has some really cool cards in it, so you know, without even having to think about the special set, you know, you have a chance at pulling any of the cards that you're seeing on screen right now, including many alternate arts, many Charizards, many rainbow rares, and of course the titular Arceus. But then in addition to that, your rainbow rare slot can also have some really cool, amazing cards like the ones right down here. So you're gonna get some really cool packs, and I think that's going to make opening up this set a bunch of good fun. And I really hope that they, you know, seed the packs well and just kind of let Pokemon card opening not be a painful labor of love, and instead be a celebration of all of the amazing cards that they're printing. So that's my thoughts, but definitely let me know yours down below. Thanks again for checking out today's video, friends. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you did, hey, don't forget to leave a like, and if you're still watching, don't forget to subscribe to join the Gengar Gang. But with all that said, friends, I appreciate your viewership as always. Have a great Tuesday, and we will talk soon. Peace.